Easter has come and gone, and that means it's, well, time to get back to work. And I think I'm going to start with the Nintendo Power stuff. It's been sitting here for over a week on the bench, and it just needs to get listed. My thought is I'm going to list the newer stuff in lots, and then the original issues are all going to go individually because their condition is kind of all over the map. And these will bring a little more money individually and rather than selling in lots. And they also have the original posters in them. So some are better than others, some are in rough shape, but they should do pretty good. When I was going through this pile, I noticed there were, a few GamePro magazines stuck in there, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then I said, why are there two of these? And I looked at the top and it said premiere issue. So this is the very first issue of GamePro magazine. And check out the ad on the back. How incredible is that? So I looked this up, and I'll throw the comps up on the screen because this goes for some pretty good money. Now, I might keep one for myself and just sell the other, but it is cool. Someone just had one of these in a live not that long ago that I saw, this U-Force thing. But anyway, this is absolutely incredible going through this magazine. There's a ton of great stuff in here. So one most likely is going to stay with me, and the other one is going to get listed on eBay sometime today. Now, if you've watched any of my older videos, you know that I collect a lot of Coleman lanterns and stoves, and anything old that says Coleman on it, I'm going to buy it if I see it. And I recently joined the International Coleman Collectors Club, something I've been meaning to do for a while now. I got this nifty little patch, and every quarter they put out this little publication here with some info about the members, the meets, and different Coleman products. I don't know my exact member number offhand, but I think there's over 600 members now in the club. And if you want to get into Coleman lanterns, lamps, stoves, the members of that club, a lot of the members of that club contributed to this book here. This is it. If you want to know anything about Coleman, everything about every possible model you can imagine is in this book. And this stays on the coffee table upstairs because I'm constantly referencing this thing when I find different Coleman things out in the wild. So very, very excited about that. Something, like I said, I've been meaning to do for a long time now. But moving right along, let's take a look at some of the what solds here. Now, since my last video, I sold a JVC, I think it was a JVC VCR DVD combo to a known scammer. So that's great. And it was delivered today. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But I have started to part out, and it's over there somewhere, this Shark Hydrovac. It's a corded Shark Hydrovac. And it sold for good money as a whole, but I decided to just part it out because it'd be a lot easier. And the clean water solution tank with the cap on it, that was the key. The cap is what's worth the extra money. That piece alone sold for $49.99, free shipping. The next thing that I sold, I had a Mantis tiller here, an electric tiller, and I couldn't sell this thing for $100 for, it seemed like 6-8 months. It was just sitting. Nobody wanted to buy it. So I took the battery and the charger and sold that previously, and I took the tines, like the blades, off of it, and I just sold those for $36 plus shipping. Out of the toolbox that I showed, I don't know if this was in a live or something else. I had a toolbox that came with a few different tools from an estate sale, and there was a little stubby Craftsman screwdriver in there. And that alone went for $24.64 plus shipping. I had a large pile, well, not huge, but a decent sized pile of 1960s Legos that I thought were going to be worth a lot of money. And they sat forever, and long enough to the point where I actually promoted the listing, and they finally ended up selling for $19.12 plus shipping. Another piece that came out of the estate sale where the toolbox and the Craftsman screwdriver came from, the Black & Decker can opener that I bought for, I think, $2 or $3. That one sold for the full asking price of $19.99, free shipping. The Private Pick House, another item sold from the Private Pick House, and that is a J.B. Garton signed Heritage Resin Duck Decoy Pintail Limited Edition. This has been sitting since, I think, October, and it sold for $44.95 plus shipping. So in the back here, there's usually a big, tall, orange swung vase by Viking. And it's been listed for quite a while. It's 22 and a half inches tall. It finally sold. I was knocking the price down. I had to promote it because it was sitting so long. Ended up going for $83.71 plus shipping. The very last of the concrete polishing pads sold. I had 6 in total. I sold 5 of them on eBay, and one of them was damaged. So I pulled out the little sanding, the abrasive pieces there, these little plastic pieces that were dipped in like sandpaper. I sold those all separately for pretty good money. And the last one ended up selling here for $254.99 free shipping. It's a big item, but I wanted to get it out of here quick, so I put free shipping on it. And even though it's pretty big, the shipping was not bad. One of the vintage lawnmower manuals that I picked up downstate not that long ago sold. It was for Clinton engines, lawnmowers, chainsaws, and it sold for $47.59 plus shipping. This one was really nice. Had some really good graphics and ads inside of it. So for someone that collects Clinton engine stuff, this was a really, really good find. The next thing that sold is a piece from the Olympia Express espresso machine that I parted out. It's all sitting here in this little cabinet here. The one that sold is a pressure stat, an original pressure stat from a 1991 model. It sat for a little bit, ended up going for $127.49 plus shipping. The next thing that sold is another piece from the Private Pick House. It is a Field, I spelled it wrong, Field Control, it's control. Field Control, draft control, new old stock, 6-inch pipe for oil burners. I had, I think, 3 or 4 of those here. This one sold for $27 plus shipping. I need to go edit that listing right now. Okay, that's fixed. Next piece that sold, a Bissell Pet Stain Eraser Plus. I bought this last year. The buyer, or the seller, said it was new. I got it at a garage sale, and it's my own fault for not opening it up. It was definitely used, but it wasn't used a lot. But the big problem is it was missing the power cord, and it's a rechargeable thing. And even though I've got that little adapter down here where I can adjust the voltage, and it's got a bunch of different ends on it to work with different things, nothing worked with this. So I ended up letting it go for $20 plus shipping. I only paid $10, so not the end of the world. The next item that's sold is a JVC DVD VCR combo unit. It's actually a DVD recorder. It had the remote, had extra cables, the manual, total package if you're trying to copy your VHS over to DVD. And I sold this to a known scammer. And I knew it was a known scammer before I shipped it out. And I knew this because the name sounded weird. So when I Googled the eBay name, nothing came up. And that's because they change their username all the time. So when I Googled the address, they showed up on badbuyerlist.org. They showed up on different Reddit forums. And one of them was actually, when I first looked this up, it was like 4 days, 4 days ago, this person posted saying they sold them a $300 Sony CD player. And then 24 days later, they opened up a case saying it was damaged or whatever, and then sent one blurry photo of the item. So why did I do this? Because I want to test eBay's seller protection. This is clearly a known scammer for, it looks like, over a year or more. And looking up the address, this person's registered all sorts of businesses to this address. So I'm not going to put all their information out there because nothing's happened to me yet. And I don't even know if I'd put their stuff out there afterwards. But we're going to test eBay's seller protection here. So is this a good idea? Probably not. But I'll keep you guys updated along the way if anything even happens. This may just be it may just be a difficult buyer where a lot of people had trouble with them. So if something happens, I'm going to follow the process exactly how eBay wants you to follow it. And if they want to open up a return, if they ask for a partial refund, they're not going to get it. I also put some of those little foil stickers over the edges that have serial numbers. So when you tear them off, they leave a mark. So I'll know if they even opened this item up. But let me know in the comments. Do you do you think this was a terrible idea? Do you think I'm going to get scammed? Let me know. But like I said, I'll keep you all updated as things progress if they do. That's going to be it for this video. Make sure you click subscribe down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.